Hola chicos, es su profesor Ricardo Martins. Estamos en nuestra clase de inglés Viajeros. Hoy vamos a hablar del aeropuerto como tal, de nuestro centro cultural Las Californias. So, let's start with this. Do you think that talking about the airport it's really easy? Because right now we have a technology airports signalizing everything, having all the instructions that we need. Everything is digital, and the technology leave us to bring with us the check-in of the flights, to have the flight information, to have everything in our cell phones, to have all the things in our devices, and to don't have problems when we are going to fly. So we have a little difference when we were waiting for getting in the plane than in other times. We have less time to wait to get on the plane, so it's easier to travel and it's easier to move by the airport. So maybe that would be great, for example, and it's good, but also you have to remember that the airports are special areas with a lot of security. I am not talking about traveling around Spain, traveling around Europe, but maybe talking about going to United States, or maybe going to Canada, or maybe going to those places far away that have many regulations. So you can be chosen in a line of people in a random way, because they chosen people in random way to be analyzed or to be asking questions to you. So that's the way that you have to be prepared when you have that situation. When I was younger, my first travel was to United States. I was 18 years old, traveling alone to United States. I was an alarm to the airport of United States. To the people arrived to me to ask me a lot of details of my travel. There is a lot of security personnel of security that came to me, or police officers, to ask me what I am going to do in United States, where I'm going to do, what place I am going to do in United States, with what people I will meet in United States. A lot of questions about my travel. I was not doing something bad or wrong, but most of the cases, people younger like me traveling alone without anybody could be suspicious people about, I don't know, traffic or something. So they ask a lot to those persons. If you are a younger person traveling to United States alone, maybe you will find a lot of questions while you are entering in the immigration process. So that's the difference when you are going to United States, difference between going to another place of Euro community. You don't have the same rights when you're arriving to United States. So that's a case. You have to be careful what you answer in the questions, and answer very clear to the officers when you're traveling, because you can be rejected or you can miss your plane if you lose the time with the immigration officers. So they have a special camera to make those questions, and it's not good to be there. Most I know a little group of persons that have been there not for doing something wrong, only to be there because they were analyzed random in the line. So that's why I am bringing to you an story about the airports, and I want you to analyze this story. So let's start with this. Miguel is standing in line at the airport. It is his turn, and he walks to the counter. The lady at the counter asks him for his ID, and she checks his flight details. Yes, he's confirmed on flight 103 from Los Angeles to Hawaii at noon. He does not have any bags to check in, but has one small carry-on bag that he will take with him. The agent prints out his boarding pass. The airport security officer walked past him with a big dog. So let's make a stop here. Most of the airports have a lot of officers with dogs to sniff and to follow people that have strangest things in the luggage or something. Is a security protocol or it's security system that they have, and most of the time is unfailable. It's like it can failed. Sometimes the dogs know everything and the dogs go through what they are going to go through. So let's speak in Spanish and read this in Spanish for you. Miguel está haciendo la fila en el aeropuerto. Es su turno y camina hacia el mostrador. La mujer del mostrador le pide su documento de identificación a ID y verifica los detalles de su vuelo. Si él está confirmado, él está confirmado en el vuelo 113 desde Los Ángeles hacia Hawái al mediodía. Él no tiene maletas para facturar, pero tiene una maleta de mano pequeña que llevará con él. El agente imprime su pase de abordaje o el boarding pass y los oficiales de seguridad del aeropuerto pasan junto a él con un perro grande. So, we left here with the big dog. What happens with Miguel? So, let's see. With the big dog, the dog is sniffing around people's luggage. That's common, that they start sniffing the luggage, trying to detect drugs and explosives. Miguel is relieved when he sees the dog walk past him. Suddenly, the dog turns and begins to sniff his back and bark. The security officer looks at Miguel. Sir, please bring your bag and come with me. That means that you're going to the camera if that happens to you. So, be careful when you are in the airport with the backpacks. The backpacks have to be with you all the time. Okay, because it's so dangerous. Maybe somebody can put something in your backpack and you will have a lot of problems because you don't have proof to say that you are not bringing that things. So, you have to be always with your luggage with you when you are in the airport. So, and if you have problems with the dogs, like Miguel, maybe you have a little possibility that is a mistake, but most of the time there is not a mistake. Thinking about funny things, I hope that Miguel have a sandwich in his luggage and the dog start looking for the sandwich. That is not possible, but it's a funny way of thinking that he don't have things, strangest thing in their luggage. So, be careful when you are in the airport because you can be in a bad situation. El perro junto a él con un perro grande. El perro está olfateando alrededor del equipaje de las personas tratando de detectar drogas y explosivos. Miguel se siente aliviado cuando ve que el perro pasa junto a él sin detenerse. De repente el perro se voltea y empieza a olfatear su maleta y ladra. El oficial de seguridad mira a Miguel. Señor, por favor, traiga su maleta y venga conmigo. Eso significa que va para el cuartito ese. So, you have a lot of questions here. For example, where is Miguel? And you can answer, he is waiting in the line at the airport. So, what is an ID? ID is the common abbreviation for identification. ¿Dónde está Miguel? Él está haciendo la fila en el aeropuerto, que es un ID. ID es la abreviatura común para el documento de identificación. So, continue with that. What time does Miguel's flight leave to Los Angeles? His flight leaves LA at noon for Hawaii. ¿A qué hora sale de Los Ángeles el vuelo de Miguel? Su vuelo sale de Los Ángeles al mediodía hacia Hawaii. What does Miguel need in order to get on the plane? He needs a boarding pass. ¿Qué necesita Miguel para subirse al avión? Él necesita un pase de abordaje, una tarjeta de embarque, mejor dicho. What are the airport security agents trying to detect? They are trying to detect drugs and explosives in the passenger's luggage. ¿Qué están tratando de detectar los agentes de seguridad del aeropuerto? Ellos están tratando de detectar drogas o explosivos en el equipaje de los pasajeros. So, continue with that. You have another practice. You can buy your ticket online. Most of the people can do that. I am not carrying a weapon in my bag. That's so normal that the people ask you in the airports, do you have weapons in your backpack? And you have to say no. It's obviously that we don't bring weapons in our backpacks to the airport. So I am traveling economy class. My friend is traveling first class. There is no need to panic. It's just a turbulence. You have a lot of vocabulary here. For example, tú puedes comprar tu ticket por internet. No estoy viajando, no estoy cargando un arma en mi maleta. Estoy viajando en clase económica. Mi amigo está viajando en primera clase. No es necesario dejarse llevar por el pánico. Solo es turbulencia. That's common when you are in the plane. When will this plane take off? When will this plane take off? ¿Cuándo va a despegar este avión? The plane has already landed. Let's run to the gate. El avión ya aterrizó. Corramos a la puerta. The flight was bumpy, but the flight attendant was very relaxed. The pilot made an announcement. We are going to miss our flight. Her seat does not recline. They are bringing drinks and snacks. Sir, may I offer you a beverage? Okay, let's see what happened this in Spanish. Okay? You have here in Spanish the translation, and also you can continue with, for example, with the last ones. This is not a direct flight. I have changed flights at Frankfurt. I will have to call the airline to confirm. They had to make an emergency landing. It was a very smooth landing, but the flight was bumpy. My bag is too big to fit in the overhead compartment. I am checking this suitcase. I will take the backpack as a carry-on. Okay, let's watch in Spanish, and then I will show you the last one. Okay? I need one day to get over the jet lag. So, you have, for example, a little introduction of what is traveling in the airport. We are going to continue about a dialogue how to travel in the airport and how to manage yourself inside of the airport and how to do the check-in and those stuff. So continue in the next video, and thank you for coming. I hope you have a nice day and thank you for coming to the class. I also want you to continue practicing your English. So, thank you for everything. Goodbye.